I didn't even know this until like 3 weeks ago or something, that she was like, there's pictures of you all over the hair and makeup trailer, and we like mimic your hairdos. And I had literally been sitting on set being like, God, she looks so cute today. Like, what I love that hairdo and I love that outfit. Everyone's like, you're such a narcissist. She looks like you. I think for actors, maybe you guys can speak to it. It's fun to be able to have something to like grab onto or look to maybe. Welcome, new people. You should know that we are never prepared. We are always wearing sweats. We're never wearing makeup.
I would almost consider myself the MC of this podcast. I am the narrator.
So welcome. We hope you enjoy this.
Today's a very cool episode, I would say.
Very cool episode.
I know I say a lot of them are my favorite, but there's something very cool about this episode. Well,
first of all, definitely very cool for you, For you, it's like big. These are my coworkers, so it's like I'm with them all the time. But for you, you're probably like starstruck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're a little nervous.
Very nervous. First time I met these people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. And you're just like Erin's sister.
Yeah.
Once again, you've combated that your whole life.
I know. And it's these tales you tell yourself that make you sleep better at night. I like to go with them.
Mm-hmm.
I do. So why don't you introduce?
All right. So everyone, including Sarah, get excited because this episode, I know.
It's crazy that Sarah. I was allowed to get within feet of these people. It's been a dream of mine.
I know. It's really just because you and I do the podcast together and they suggested it was just me. And I was like, guys, it's going to be really awkward with Sarah.
Yeah.
So we have the cast of Nobody Wants This. They are with us live in person on a stage. And you're going to hear from all of them. Really fun little insider tidbits, BTS. That stands for behind the scenes information. Okay. We have Adam Brody. I'll hold for applause. We have Kristen Bell. We have Justine Lupe. We have Timothy Simons. He likes to be called Timothy, we learned. And we have Jackie Tohn. We've got them all. Yeah. We've got Esther. We've got Noah. We've got Joanne. We've got Morgan.
Yeah. And it's funny because when we went into this, I was like, we got to ask the hard-hitting questions. We're not trying to do a KTLA interview. And Erin, who I hear Noah.
Do you hear my baby crying?
Yep. I mean, you're a mess over there. Maybe close your door.
Sorry, I have a child. I live in an apartment.
Yes, we all have
children. The doors
children.
are closed.
We all have children. Just close your door.
The door is closed.
Okay. So Erin was like, no, we can't ask this. We can't ask this. And I, of course, knowing these people and knowing their personalities, like they can handle it. And sure enough, on stage, Adam Brody goes, come on. Yeah, give us the hard questions. But Erin wanted to operate like a KTLA interview. So thank God I was there. Or it would have been a lot about like, so tell me, what was your inspiration for this role? No one gives a shit about that. They want to hear who's late to set, who's best friends, who has had rival. Yeah, that's what people want to hear. So that's what I asked them.
Yeah, you're a real Barbara Walters. You're always coming in, really just holding people to the fire.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
So I think
people should go back and listen to your Courtney Cox interview that you did on the podcast. What's it like to be so good at everything? All right, guys. So later in the episode, we also bring out some very interesting creative people behind the scenes of the show. They help make the show. I'm not going to explain who they are because I want it to be a fun surprise, but we've got lots of inside stuff. Yeah. It's real inside industry. Okay. We're really taking you behind the curtain.
It's fascinating to hear.
Sarah, we're wrapping it up. All right. Let's let people listen to the episode.
I know. I'm not that inspired by what you just
I'm inspired. I just inspired myself.
I know, but you're a narcissist. You're just like, you love.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I'm trying to inspire the audience. But that's
Forgot about them. Totally forgot about them.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
And it's very important to note that Emmy season is here. Emmy voting is open. And I'm just going to be shameless about it. We really want your vote. Please, please vote for us. Vote for the show. Vote for me. Vote for me as best looking. Vote for anything that you can. Okay. This is my one shot at this thing. Please vote for the show. I'll give a good speech if I win. I promise. I'll thank each and every one of you. Please, 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 please. If you're a voter, vote for us. Okay, guys. I'm going to flatter you. Not personally, but just like the show, which I wrote. So this show premiered back in September. It has since been nominated for a Golden Globe, Critics' Choice Award, and was named one of AFI's television programs of the year, which is a huge honor. I made sure to frame that one. And also, Adam won a Critics' Choice Award for Best Comedy Actor.
No male lead in Hacks.
Literally, Hacks needs to go off the air.
We should have No, that's sacrilege. We love Gene. We love Hannah.
They got to go to a different category then. They got to be in drama or something.
Erin, you're already saying crazy things. Like, this is all on the record. Everything you say is on the record.
Competing with them, you guys. They take everything.
This is not like our podcast. People are actually listening to what we're saying tonight.
I'm working on it. I'm infiltrating. I did Hacks this year. I'm infiltrating. Don't even worry about it.
Kristen?
Are you trying to rip it apart from the inside?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see, Timothy.
Kristen's so professional, though, because we all really, at least Erin and I, thought that we would win the Critics' Choice Award. And when we didn't, Erin and I were like, oh, like you could see it in our face. And Kristen's like, you guys, clap. Like,
it was like smiling and clapping. Yeah. She probably was happy for them. We weren't.
Kristen's very evolved. She's and we're not. So
that's not true.
It's pretty true. You know it's true.
Should we dive into that?
What? No.
Okay, great. All right. So before we dive into season 1 stuff, which is what we are here to talk about, we have some very exciting news to share. Adam, you're going to do the honors again because you've already mentioned it once, but nobody picked it up, which was great.
Okay, I can say the premiere date
Yes.
of season 2, which is
Are you sure, Erin? It's okay?
Ted said it's okay.
Did Ted tell you that?
October 23rd. If you're not doing anything, come see us.
2026.
Wait,
Just kidding. It's 2025. I thought we were doing jokes.
When you said that, I was like, it's 2026. I believed you.
Erin, the show is loosely based on your relationship with your husband, Simon, and then you always like to interweave personal things that happen in my life, which is so unappreciated. Something in season 2, which we're not going to talk about, is wild that you put in the show. When did you realize our own experiences would translate into comedy?
I would say that I did not know that for a long time because I was very uninspired by my relationship for a long time. No offense to my husband, but it was very boring.
No offense
being
taken.
happy. I was like, there's nothing funny about this to write about. I can't make fun of anything. How do I joke about my family loves them? I don't know what the joke is. We're really happy. And so it didn't really seem like it was going to translate into any work because I typically demolished my relationships in my writing, and that wasn't not something I was comfortable doing. And then I realized that there's actually something very interesting about writing about an adult healthy relationship because it's very hard to be in a healthy relationship because it means you have to be the best version of yourself. I know you asked the question, but I'm going to talk to Kristen if that's okay with you. So it's very hard when I don't know if anyone here has experienced this, but when you're in a bad relationship, it's actually great because everything is that person's fault. You can storm out of a room, you can say crazy shit to them, you can really anything is available to you. And then you get with a healthy person who's well-adjusted and they sort of force you to be a good partner. And it was my first time even attempting to be a good partner to someone. And that was very hard. And that's when I realized that that's maybe something interesting to write about. And so that's how it happened.
Beautiful story.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to you guys, the real stars here. But I'm going to do that.
See, it's hard. You can't see either. You were saying your sight was better than mine.
Okay, guys, what would you say to each of you makes your character stand out for you, and what drew you most to playing this character? Kristen?
Kristen.
Kristen.
No pressure. You got time to think. Kristen.
Well, I do need time to think. That's a kind of a complex question, and it's on the rec. Does anyone have anything that jumps out at them?
Yeah, what made your character stand out?
Of course I do.
Do it then.
What do
Take
you
it while
got?
I think.
I'm just not what am I doing? I'm just me. So I think what I like about the question is that baked into it is that I had a lot of options. It's why this, if anything? It's I wasn't working. No one was hiring me. I had nothing going on. And I went on an audition. That's why.
Jackie, you're amazing.
Thank you for being you.
You're literally.
I just love this idea. I'm Leo DiCaprio, and it's my agent's screening everything. It's no, I went to audition for literally Little House on the Prairie the other day. That's not a bit. So when I read Esther to short answer the question, I was like, are you joking me? I'm literally trying out for Little House on the Prairie and all these other things that make no sense for me. Timmy, go to the well. Papa, what? So are you okay? And so I got this script. I was like, this woman's snarky Jewish mouth comes right out of my face. This is wonderful. This is the biggest dream come true ever to even be auditioning. And so you wrote the absolute shit out of it. And it just was a dream to read and even try to be part of. And so for me, that's what jumped out at me about Esther.
Can I give people a little bit of trivia about this that's not on the cards, which is really interesting, which is that Kristen said to us when we were auditioning Esther, Kristen is an executive producer on the show, so we were dealing with the casting. And she said,
dealing with Kristen
in casting. And she said, okay, my best friend is perfect for Esther. And we're like, oh God, she has a best friend that she wants to play Esther. Like, this is going to be tough because she's, probably not going to be as great as everybody else. And then what are we going to say to the executive producer star of the show? Guys, it was only Jackie. Like, it was legit. We were so relieved. We were so relieved because we probably were going to have to hire her whether she was good or not.
No, I recused myself. I recused myself from the casting process because if you really want the details about this, you were handed the Rebecca sides.
Right.
And on a hike, you said, do you mind me telling the story?
I didn't even know that.
By all means. I tried out
She
for
was
Little House on
handed
the Prairie.
Rebecca sides. We were on a hike. She said, I got sides for your show. I obviously assume it's Esther. I said, okay, great. Do you want to read it? Whatever. She's like, her name is Rebecca. And I was like, whoa, you're not a Rebecca, my love. No.
She's delicate.
I said, she's fragile. She's delicate. And she's like, it's just not you. I said, you have to hold out for Esther. And to Jackie's credit, given where you were or like saying like, oh, I'm just auditioning and getting it. I said, tell them you want Esther. And she said, I can't. And I said, yes, you can. Tell them there's a better role for me. I want to work for this role instead. And you did. And then when I told you my best friend is auditioning, I did not watch any of the other Esthers because I said, I can't have a vote. I already know what my vote's going to be. It's going to be too close to home. And then when I got the call that they were like, duh, it's Jackie, I was like so relieved. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but I was so right.
No, but it wasn't even a conversation.
Yeah.
It never happens that you guys can all speak to this, but like I want to be varied. We all want to do these interesting, cool things. But when something comes into your inbox that is so exactly you, it's not you that gets it a lot of the time.
It's so true.
But Jackie, you're a comedic genius, and it's high time everyone now gets to see
ridiculous.
it. Like, truly, you really are.
You guys are being nice to me.
Well, we got to spread the love a little bit.
Well, Erin, now everyone else has to answer the question.
I do think I have my answer. So I think that I was immediately attracted to the tone of your writing. You capture a hyper-realistic comedy, like almost in the way Seinfeld did, where like the whole 30 minutes was about soup or a bagel or like that someone's date didn't smile or something so small and tiny. But they were able to chomp on it and make a meal of it because you were extracting all of these real life details that people go through. And I think oftentimes when you watch fictionalized stories, there's so much fantasy out there. And like, I love sci-fi as much as the next guy, but it's not hyper realistic in any way, shape, or form. So I liked that. I really liked that even though I'm married and I'm on a different track than Joanne, I was very aware of how many of my girlfriends were going through what Joanne was going through. They're on dating apps. They hate it. They're in their 40s. They're like, is this ever going to happen for me? I feel old, but I feel young. And so I was very attracted to representing that. And also I feel like, because you and I, like, we get along very well, but we're not very similar, I don't think, on paper. Right. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally.
And I liked that Joanne was so different than, like, it wasn't, it just wasn't anything I'd ever done before. And I wasn't like that, like, oh, this is so me. But I thought, oh, this would be a really fun challenge. And I just loved the script so much.
And it's important to mention, Kristen, was not Erin's first choice.
No, she was not.
No.
Because I was my first choice.
Yeah. Erin was her first choice.
But you know what? Netflix didn't feel the same.
No, they didn't.
And they were like, you can either have a show with Kristen Bell or you cannot have a show. And I was
we
like,
could have had a show. Just
I
not
want
on
a show with
Netflix.
Kristen Bell today. No, it really worked out in all of our favor. Yeah.
I
It
was
really
at
worked
least
out.
invited to audition to play myself. You weren't even invited to audition.
No, it wasn't even a conversation.
No. It
I
wasn't.
know. Life
But
is
that's
hard, you
okay.
guys.
But you did not audition.
What?
But you did not
You did
audition.
not.
No, I didn't audition. No. I mean, thank God. Can you imagine? Me instead of Justine Lupe, that would have been a disaster.
Different show.
It all worked out the way it was supposed to work.
Different show in a bad way.
Oh.
Adam?
That is
See?
really rude, Erin.
Oh, sorry. I forgot you were here.
Oh, am I answering that question? I thought you had a fresh
Well,
question
we
for
talked
me.
about this like 10 minutes ago.
Okay,
that
what
question.
yeah, sure. The
Erin,
the
repeat
thing
the
that
question.
stuck out to me, a couple things. One, it was like a very, very fun and fresh romantic comedy with Kristen, and I thought, like, what an amazing dance partner. We could have a great time doing this. The other thing was, which I initially almost winced at for a second, that I quickly grew to like love and realized that's maybe the most interesting thing about it for me is the religiosity of it, you know. And
Mhm.
I'm, you know, not a rabbi, and you know, at first I thought, oh wow, I'm out of my depth there, but then that's what makes it acting. That's what makes it fun. That'll be fun to research and broaden my knowledge about that. And then once we started rounding up a posse, it got real exciting.
Yeah.
And similar to Jackie, Kristen was from the very beginning. She was like, it's Adam Brody. It's only Adam
Yeah.
Brody.
Well, that's actually our next question.
Oh, sorry.
Well, wait. Do Justine and Timothy have any thing
Yeah,
to
you
say
guys
about?
have to answer too.
I read with Tim a lot.
Adam and I read a lot. Is this still on?
Yeah.
Would you guys turn Tim's mic down?
Just banging
No,
it
I
against
think
your
I was-
mouth.
Yeah, just turn it down.
Justine, do you want a hand or Jackie?
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Oh, it
I
is.
think I may have accidentally hit the button. I just want to say, I mean, one thing, just really quickly, and I want to shout out somebody that's going to be out in a moment. Incredibly funny, and I really love the idea of like there is sort of like an overlap of supporting characters in romantic comedies that I've always been a fan of and that I think are really funny, and the script's very funny. But I think the moment it really clicked for me was in the first fitting with our costume designer Nagar, who's here and will be in a second. Because she was the one that brought in this like scumbag West Side expensive LA guy that I had not considered at all. And when she was like, this is what I'm thinking, I was like, that is the most fun shit I've ever seen. And it really kind of changed it like right away. And so I want to shout out Nagar for that because that really opened it up in a lot of ways that I hadn't been thinking about. And so I just want to say
That's
that
a great point. Yes.
before we put Justine on the spot.
She was like, I really picture him in like really like labely designer sweaters all the time that like say Dior really big or something. And I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but I hate him and I love it for this.
Yeah.
Literally
Justine?
Ollie.
I feel like I was attracted initially to Kristen's name, obviously, because she's just so delightful to watch. And I'd heard only the best things about her. And then I read the sides and I felt like I could hear the characters so clearly. I was like, oh, I get this dynamic really clearly. And then I kind of did a little bit of research and heard your guys' actual voices. And I was like, oh, I've heard these women before when I read it. And that was just like such a telltale sign that it was like really clearly written and that, you know, Sarah, I know you don't like me saying that Morgan's
true.
anything like you, but I definitely was like, oh, I heard Sarah before. I heard Sarah's voice. And then I think I had a similar experience to Tim, whereas once I got there, it just became more and more rich. And I think that, you know, she's such a goofy character. And I feel like I got to kind of go even more off the tracks, even into this year, like just farther off the tracks and more and more sloppy. And it's just been such a joy. It's been really, really fun. And I think I just started off with just like, you know, some little bits with Sarah and the sides. And from there, it's just been a real joy to find more.
Well, and that's something that's interesting that I had an interesting experience with was watching how I noticed that all the actors liked having a North Star of something to look at. Like if you're playing the sister character and it's loosely based on Sarah, you like to listen to the podcast and hit like a tone that feels
Yeah.
familiar. And like Kristen, I didn't even know this until like 3 weeks ago or something,
that she was like, there's pictures of you all over the hair and makeup trailer, and we like mimic your hairdos. And I had literally been sitting on set being like, God, she looks so cute today. Like, I love that hairdo and I love that outfit. Everyone's like, you're such a narcissist. She looks like you, which I honestly didn't realize it was like a mimicking.
Wait, are you a narcissist?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that. I think for actors, maybe you guys can speak to it. It's fun to be able to have something to like grab onto or look to, maybe.
Yeah. And Sarah, you're so far out. Like you are. Like you're the way that you move your
wild.
hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
wild,
are.
yeah.
You're a weirdo. It's
Yeah.
like-
No,
so
I know.
It's fun to find the fun in Sarah. I had fun like looking at the way that she moves her hands.
Yeah.
And the way
No,
that
but
she
your
talks.
cadence is pretty unbelievable. I mean, people say it to me all the time. Your
know.
cadence is unbelievable. But you
But then when you see
I know because like
season
Ted
2,
Sarandos was like, "You're Sarah exactly," and Sarah was like, "She's nothing like
yeah,
me."
Ted's like, it's like I'm looking at Sarah. I'm like, really? It's like it's your exact voice. I'm like, is it? But it actually
it's
is.
hard
But,
for us to see ourselves,
but you from the beginning, I remember in the process, you were from the beginning like, what do I need to do? I'll read 100 times. I'll come in morning, noon. No, but Justine, you're such a pro. I mean, you are a Juilliard trained actress. I'm sorry, but we live in a time where you don't see this as much. A lot of young actresses are like, I'm offer only, or I only want to do this, I only want to do that. You had no ego and you were major coming into this. I mean, I'm sorry, you were
It's true. You were coming off of like the biggest hit show, and you were like, I will do whatever I need to do.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
No, you're amazing.
That's so true, because I also like, I have a hang up of if you're, no matter how big of an actor you are, if you want a role really badly and they're asking you to audition, the director whose mind it's going to sort of come from is asking you to audition and you say no, you have already lost the plot.
Exactly.
Well, and on
My
top of that,
opinion.
it's just like this might be my only chance to play this part that I like loved reading. Like I had a lot of fun reading the script. I had a lot of fun with the sides. And I was like, if this is the one chance that I get to do the part, then I get to do the part for 15 minutes with Kristen Bell in a chemistry read. Like, that's great.
Spoken like a true thespian.
It's true.
No, but if you heard the names, people are like, oh, they're offer only. We're like, who? Like, I've never heard of this person. Who is this person?
It's
and then
true.
here's Justine
People
like,
are their own worst enemies, not you guys. You guys are all perfect.
Element is helping anyone and everyone stay hydrated. There is no sugar. There are no dodgy ingredients found in, I would say this is now the most popular electrolyte and sports drink. You guys, electrolyte deficiency or imbalances cause headaches, cramps, fatigue, brain fog, weakness. I'm not supposed to say this, but fine lines. A lot of the time when I'm like, oh, what are those lines? I'm dehydrated. I just need to hydrate myself. So I will take Element when I'm not feeling my best or looking my best. And I do notice a difference. It is free of sugar, artificial colors. Everyone's using this stuff, you guys. Everyone, all the athletes, every age range, we're all using Element. This company was founded by a former research biochemist. He is a 2 times New York Times bestselling author. Oh, Element also now has these cans. They're these canned drinks. I keep them in my fridge. When people come over, I'm like, oh, I offer one, and it just feels fancy. People seem really, really excited when I whip those out. We love this company. Oh, they have a new flavor too. It's like a lemonade flavor, which I love. I'm normally a grapefruit person, but they have this new lemonade flavor that I love. So try Element, totally risk-free. If you don't like it, we will refund your order. I mean, I won't, but Element will. No questions asked. There is a very low return rate and a very high reorder rate because you're going to love it. So right now, Element is offering a free sample pack with any purchase. That is 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all of our 8 flavors or share Element with a friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Foster. The deal is only available through our link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Foster. I have a bond charge update. So the red light mask is the thing that we talk about because it's the only thing we have. It's the thing we use. It's the thing that we're seeing results from. I've added something to the arsenal. And just when you think it can't get better, it got better. I ordered the bond charge. It is like a sleeping bag. Okay. You put your whole body into just a giant red light.
Oh, that's so good for you.
No, Erin, it is the most relaxing.
And you fall asleep. I mean, it's like warm without being hot.
It's impossible to not fall asleep. You know all the benefits of red light therapy.
But you know what? I really love their face mask though, because I know the sleeping bag thing is very cool, but the face mask for me is just a much more accessible option for the day. And a girlfriend of mine wrote me yesterday, literally last night, saying, I want to get our friend so-and-so something to thank her for hosting me at her house, blah, blah, blah. What should I get her? And I literally said, Bond Charge face mask.
Oh, it's a fantastic gift. Fantastic gift. Okay, so red light face masks, they're helping you with wrinkles and fine lines, sore jaws, eczemas, migraines, acne, scar tissue, wound healing, relaxation. It's all science backed. We have the data.
It really is.
This mask, by the way, is boosting collagen and elastin production, and you really only need to wear it for 10 to 20 minutes each day while you're watching TV, while you're cleaning the house, whatever it is.
So go to bondcharge.com and use the coupon code FOSTER to save 15%. Okay, that is BONCHARGE.com and use the coupon code FOSTER to save 15%. Okay, I continue to say the same thing and they don't care. Osea, are you listening? Can you please send me my moisturizer? I keep
Erin,
buying it.
Osea wants you to buy
price.
it. Osea wants you to just buy it. They can't field your calls.
I got a peel recently and my skin has been dry because it is, exfoliating itself. And I have been drenching myself in my Osea protection cream and I need more of it. So dear Mr. Osea, please call or send.
I think it was actually started by a woman. You sexist person.
Dear Mrs. Osea, please send me some of my protection cream.
We talk a lot about ways in which you can start making little changes in your life to be a little bit healthier, a little more organic, a little bit, all those things. What you put on your skin, it seeps in. It doesn't usually just sit on your skin. It goes into your body.
Of course, it's absorbed. It's basically what your body is eating is what you're putting on your skin.
Yes. So this is Clean Beauty. They started in 1996.
Clean Beauty since 96. They were ahead of the curve.
This is the thing everyone's talking about. It's all over TikTok. It's the Undaria Algae Body Oil. It is so rich, yet it is not greasy. Mm-hmm. It is clinically tested to instantly, they say this, they stand by this, to instantly improve your skin elasticity.
Yeah, you need that for sure.
Yeah. The scent's great. It's like a natural citrus scent, little hints of mango, mandarin, grapefruit, limes. It's like the scent of the summer.
Yeah. All their products are so nice. They're so luxurious and clean.
You are visibly firming your skin. You are feeling more sculpted, more toned. It's what we needed. It's what we need this summer. It's what we all need. So give us the discount.
So get healthy, glowing skin for summer with clean, vegan face and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with the code FIRST at OseaMalibu.com. You're going to get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to OSEAMalibu.com and use the code FIRST for 10% off. Sarah.
Oh, God, don't talk to me in that voice.
Sarah.
Oh, God, I can't.
Sarah. Time to talk about Euphoria. Okay, Sarah, I'm going to give you some stats. Euphoria Awaken is proven to work, okay? 92% of people felt more aroused. 92% of people reached orgasm.
Ew, stop.
I know. Well, orgasms aren't gross, Sarah. You got to grow up and just stare it right in the face, okay? They're normal. I know you've never had one, but they are normal. People love them, okay? And Euphoria is helping you get more comfortable, have less painful sexual experiences if that's something that you are dealing with.
There's just nobody that doesn't want to have better sex. Also, you have to know what you are putting in those areas. I implore you to do your diligence here. Fine, maybe it's not for you, but you need to know what you are putting down there. And I guarantee you a lot of the things you're putting down there should not be down there.
Yeah.
Euphoria is everything that should be down there.
It's all natural, organic formulas. Okay. That's what you're putting in your body. You need to know this stuff. It's important.
Yeah. But people really are, the message, I have not gotten one message saying, I bought it, I didn't like it. Everybody that has written me is like, where has this been my entire life?
Do you want to hear a real testimonial? Quote,
no,
this
Erin,
stuff
you
is
can't
like
read you can't read
this one's not dirty.
Okay, they're all
Okay,
X-rated.
quote.
One.
This stuff is like an alarm clock for your private areas. End quote. Waking it
Yeah.
up. Ding, 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 ding. Time to wake up.
Yeah.
Euphoria calling.
Guys, I would just, and I don't say this about everything, I would just add to cart right now, immediately do it.
So yes, you have our permission to try this. We fully endorse you to go ahead and treat yourself or your partner. Experience your juiciest and deepest sensual experience with a bottle of Euphoria. Euphoria is offering a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first order by visiting euphoria.com/Foster or use the code Foster at checkout. That's FORIA wellness.com/Foster for 20% off your first order. I recommend trying their Awaken or their Pleasure Set with all 3 of their bestsellers. You're welcome. Okay, so Kristen and Adam. A lot of people.
Sarah, you're a weirdo. Sorry, I just wanted to check and see if the mic was working. Okay, it's working again.
No, honestly, I've realized recently a astrologer was like, "You're so fucking weird." I was
Okay,
like,
it's
I
right
am so
there.
weird.
It's right there.
Yeah, I
An
know.
astrologer told you don't
Yeah.
need to finish the sentence.
No, but even Justine sees it. So yeah,
Well,
She's not even an
everyone sees it,
astrologer.
yeah, and she's not even an
Actually-
astrologer.
And I also am an astrologer.
is because she did my chart the day we met.
No way.
I was like, what does all this mean?
That's
Oh, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, my astrologer Justine told me that I'm really fucking weird.
But also, when you guys watch season 2, which you will, you're going to see that what ends up happening is when we watch what's going on in season 1 and what each actor, what their strengths are, then we write to those strengths. So like Justine, we saw how like certain attributes that she had and like what she was really having fun with. And then we lean really hard into that. We said the same thing with Kristen. Like she had so much fun with the kids in season 1, right? Like playing a certain kind of, no, seriously, like
I know.
playing.
That's my
so
favorite
cute.
scene of all time.
There were scenes where she was like, I love this part. And you would see her really sink into the character and be like, oh, she's really good at it. And she really likes playing Joanne this way. It's like each person has that. And then it makes it more fun to write season 2 because you know what everyone enjoys doing and where they really start to get into the flow. And then, so read between the lines there if you want, Justine, but we'll see.
Okay.
Adam and Kristen, everyone is talking about your amazing chemistry. Okay. And so there's the famous on-screen moment when you meet at the dinner party. Of course, there's the iconic kissing scene. Now, Adam, you recently said in an interview, quote, "We've been together in different shows and nobody said your chemistry is amazing." So, and I'm not fishing for a compliment here. I'm just saying genuinely.
Feels like you're fishing. That's
I know,
exactly
but
what you're
I
doing.
genuinely am curious because you guys have worked together before, and then all of a sudden it's like this chemistry is palpable, and you've been friends for so long.
Can I just also start this as a
Please.
header? I'm not sitting away from you because I am like mad at you.
Justin?
I'm not wearing pants and I have to sit in a very
I see.
specific position. So this is not like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be
I'm also not
judged.
wearing pants. And we're
Hey.
best friends and we didn't even talk about that beforehand.
You guys should try pants.
I just
They're honestly, they're
about
great.
pants?
They're amazing.
I want to turn
You
to
guys
I just
like
don't want
pants?
to clarify that I'm not being rude. Okay.
Understood.
Okay, so you don't think we had chemistry in our other projects?
It's not
Was that
I
the
didn't
question?
think we had chemistry.
Kind of.
What
Erin,
I was
then you
saying,
took your
Said to
pants
Erin,
off. Don't ask that question. Maybe don't bring that up.
to paraphrase myself, I think what I was saying was that it is the beauty of the way these characters are set up. And of course we have good chemistry, but so much of it, it's not like in every story it would pop off the screen. It has to do with the way these characters are introduced and the track that's laid and for us to get to play. And
Aaron Foster's
it
such an
is
incredible
it is a
writer.
harmony of actors and writers.
Yeah.
That's it.
True. And it's important
We
to note.
do have great chemistry though.
You really do. And Kristen was attached to the show immediately when Netflix bought it. And then we went on the journey to find who was going to play Noah. And day one, Kristen said,
It's Adam Brody.
she did.
You said
I
it's
never
only
get
Adam
tired of
Brody.
hearing the story.
I said
love
it's
it.
only
Kristen-
Adam Brody. Then don't listen.
I'm
I
saying
said-
that wasn't a joke.
Oh, you said it. You never get hired.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you said you're tired of
No,
hearing it.
no, I love it. Tell it again.
I said it's only Adam Brody. I said to that writer's room, I was like, you guys can have as much to explore as you want. And I know you will, and you'll go international and you'll audition everybody. But I'm just telling you right now, it is Adam Brody. So let me know when you figure that
You
out.
were literally like, "That's cute. That's cute." You want to look at auditions and see people. That's so cute, but it's going to be Adam Brody.
Sometimes you just have a feeling about it. And I know,
You're like, what made you think it was Adam?
because Adam, well, first of all, Adam is
Go
one
on.
of my favorite people to watch for a variety of reasons. Number one, much like Sarah, he's weird and he
Yes,
makes
Adam.
non-obvious choices sometimes when they're he makes unforeseen choices. Not every moment. It's not like he's like Jim Carrey and you're like, what's he doing? You're just, you keep people on your toes. And also, you're one of the most natural people to watch. Like
Slouchy. I'm a slouchy actor.
you are a slouchy actor. But also when
There
you're,
are a lot of times like sit up.
I know they're like, can you puff out your and you're like, oh. And sometimes you'll slouch even more because you're grumpy. But when you talk in a scene, at least what I feel is like, oh, Adam isn't saying lines. Noah's just here. Like he's so natural. He talks like a human talks. And I think that there are so many great actors out there, but it's very rare to find that particular quality where you, as the other side of the scene, get confused as to who they are a little bit. You're just so natural. You're so goddamn natural.
I mean, I really appreciate it. In fairness, I'm not, I think everyone here is equally as natural, but
That's true. That's true.
But
I think
I-
we've compiled based
What if you
on
ranked us like 1 to 5?
natural, most naturalistic.
Oh boy, if you do that, I'm fucked.
I wanted
Me
to put
too.
you guys on the spot. I thought these would be fun questions. And
Yeah.
Erin was like, Sarah, chill. You
They're
can't
like,
ask-
who forgets their lines the most? I was like, Sarah,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
wanna
ask
know.
those
I like these
questions.
quite. Go,
Ooh, I
go.
wanna know, I
Let's
wanna
rapid
know.
Why
fire that
not?
stuff.
Okay,
I know. Erin's so boring. Sorry.
You do the hard ones.
it's true. Okay, great.
No,
Well-
but we erased them. We didn't put them on the thing.
Oh, wow.
Well, we know them. Okay, who
Okay,
slept
who does
with? No,
forget
I'm
their
kidding.
lines the most?
Erin!
Who forgets their lines the most?
I
Nobody.
feel like we're
line
pretty
forgetting
solid. Yeah,
group.
this
Yeah.
isn't a
I know you guys are also
forgetful
professional.
cast.
All right,
Okay.
I have a question, but not to you two. Okay, to the other three. What do you guys want?
But it's
to
about
happen?
me, I assume.
Well, I don't even know why it says just Justine, Tim, and Jackie, but it's for all of you. What do you want to happen to each of your characters? Like,
You
what
know,
do
it
you
was
hope?
always Adam. It was never anybody other than Adam. He just wanted to hear it one more time.
Like, what does Jackie? What do you want to see happen for Esther? And we can't give spoilers on season 2, but like, what would be your dream thing for Esther to do? And I'm not asking this because I don't know what to write. I'm just curious.
Sounds like you're looking for some
I think
episode
Esther's
ideas.
mother is probably Bette Midler.
And
And I just
love
really want to play with Bette Midler. I love her so much. I mean, Barbara could be her mother too. She could have a really fun, really bawdy Jewish 75-year-old mother.
I love that.
I would like to see where Esther comes from.
Okay.
I mean, what parents make an Esther?
Yeah.
What is she so pissed about? You know, it's like, what happened? So I would love to see where Esther comes from. But I also, no spoilers, but I was really excited because it's not the old days. We make 10 episodes of a half-hour show. There's just not that much time to focus on every single person's everything. So it's really exciting when you get a season 2 because I think your character can just find a lot more multidimensionality. And in a first season of a show, you have to really establish who everybody is. So you sort of, the camera goes to them, you kind of know what energy you're getting from them. And I think in season 2, you could really flip the script a bunch, and no spoilers, I think we did. What do you think? Okay, great. Timmy boy.
Timothy.
You know, I mean,
I'm
like,
sorry,
I don't know.
Timothy.
He's
It's
such
Timothy.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
It's Timothy.
Thank you. Do
welcome.
I need to leave and come back out?
Oh, please don't. Not if I have to stand behind you again.
I think one of the things, I mean, like, especially like, you know, when we were talking about like, you know, like what we've seen, like supporting cast members in romantic comedies before, they are there as like a vehicle for comedy, and they're usually not as rounded. And I think, just to Jackie's point, the fact that we have multiple hours to do this. I think after season 1, it definitely happened in season 2, and I'm looking forward to more of it. Like exploring like more multidimensionality and whatever form that takes, in that, like, if you only have 90 minutes, there isn't, like, you know, the movie isn't about a secondary character's growth. You know what I mean? And so I like the idea of seeing him like be good at shit. Because I think, you know, there were moments in season 1, like when he is a good dad, like seeing him be good at shit, even for as goofy as he is, I think is fun and something I'm looking forward to.
You.
Justine.
I agree with Tim.
That I should have more multidimensionality. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
so
we all
nice.
sort of feel like you need
I
to grow.
concur. I feel the same way. I'm just excited by more time to explore the characters. Like he said, you know, like this is they're the central characters. It's like nice to have a little bit of like leeway to play around with all of us, and I feel like that happened this season. And I also would love to meet Morgan's ex-husband.
Same.
Oh yes,
Ooh,
dude.
I like it.
She's like, and I think Brad Pitt plays him.
Yeah.
And I think, by the way, you guys should all know that they're all like best friends. I mean, the camaraderie that you guys all have
It's true.
is. I don't
You
know.
saying it's probably going to jinx. They're going to like hate each other by next week.
What?
Okay, guys, we're looking at a clock that says 2 minutes. So, of the
What's
characters,
it, Erin, sorry to ask. What's it counting down to? What's gonna
you
fucking
know,
happen?
we're all going to die.
Oh,
I don't know.
Did you
Okay.
guys see Final Reckoning?
I think
it's
that it
pretty clear
counts
what it's
down to,
counting down to.
To me, inviting
everyone wants to get
other
home to
people
watch
on the
Science.
stage.
Oh, all right. It's just an intense clock, and it's like, what's
I
really
know.
gonna happen?
It
Okay,
is.
good.
You
Go
guys
on.
don't see it, but it's like our life is just ticking away in front of us. Okay, so of the characters to each of you, and you know, make it snippy,
You're
snappy.
not going to ask the spicy
Make
questions.
it snappy, not
All right.
snippy. Of the characters, who would you most or least likely take advice from?
Most likely, Rabbi Noah.
100%.
Most
I
likely-
would not take advice from any of the three of these.
Smart. That's
That's
smart.
not for me.
I
And
agree.
similarly, I don't think I'm taking too much Joanne advice, but she was nice the one time she saved the dog.
I'm going to say it's a pretty clear answer for who you take advice from, really. But I'm going to throw this out that I would take advice from Morgan only because you're going to get some psycho shit, but then you just take like 30% off of it and you're like, oh, if I do that, that's going to be the right. And but that's like a chaos answer. Like if you want to sow chaos, like she's going to nuke it, but then you're like, well, what if I just used like a 2-ton bomb rather than like a nuclear weapon?
Always
You know
ask
what I
the
mean?
weirdo the advice because they're
Yeah.
going to like, you know, set it
And
to you
she's
straight.
direct.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting. Wait, you didn't all answer, did you?
I think we all said no.
Oh, you did.
We all
Okay.
agree.
So, which of the cast is most like their character?
Ooh.
Guys,
Jackie.
come on.
Jackie.
Next.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know why we even...
Wait, but I will say Jackie.
Cheers.
Jackie is way more welcoming than Esther is.
100%.
Yeah.
That is the one. Like we're almost exactly the same, except that like I kind of love everything.
Yeah.
And she's a curmudge.
You're
All right, guys, we have
welcome,
45
welcome.
seconds. Sarah.
I was like, I want to know who is most likely to be late, you know, like
Yeah,
late
who's
for their
late
call
on
time.
set the
Aaron's like, you
most?
can't ask that question. I was like, what are you talking
You
about?
can ask that
So
question.
I want to know who's late, who's the most kind of like, they're learning their lines last minute in the trailer. Any of you? No?
Yeah, she's got it.
I mean,
Jackie?
it's Tova.
Tova's always late.
No,
The
she's
one
not
that's
like late, but like if her call is 6:30, she'll come in at 6:50 wearing like a face mask, having just swam wet hair. Yeah.
That's
I will say,
amazing.
Kristen always comes in late, but she's got like this much time that she gets ready, and it's like a miracle time frame.
She gets ready really
She's
fast.
always ready by the time she needs to be ready because she would never leave the crew waiting
I'm
for her.
always
but she's
late, but I
always late.
never hold up set.
She's always
It's
late,
true.
but she's never
I
late.
respect that. You're like, I
'cause
don't
she's a
need 2
machine.
hours.
I go to
respect
rehearsal
that.
and I'm always like,
Yeah.
is this your wardrobe? And she's like, no, babe, I like just was at home
I
like 10
just
minutes
got
ago.
my hair's like this. I'm in like mismatched
She's
sweats,
like, I just
and they're
went to a
like
Pilates class.
15 out from shooting.
I'm like, I don't
in the
remember
morning.
like,
don't worry about it. I'll do it.
seeing this. You're like, that's not what I'm wearing. Were you going to say something, Adam?
No, I see that. I thought we were going to die when the countdown happened, but I forgot we have our lovely artisans coming out.
I know.
We do.
We do. I like to say creatives because artisans
It just
feels,
said it there.
I
I've
know.
never said
They
it-
kept
I've never said that
Artisans
word in
is
my
a
life
wild.
before.
That's a
I know.
wild term.
Artisans is like, kill me if I ever use the word artisans
We
again.
have
I
some
said, Erin, I'm
beautiful
not gonna say
cheese
artisans.
plates
I know.
coming
It
out.
is overused because
Please
now
welcome
everything
the
at the
cheese
grocery store is like
plates.
an artisan
like
bagel,
wind chimes.
an artisan.
They make wind
yeah.
chimes in Woodstock. And
Yeah.
here they are.
Unless I'm like in Italy and like someone's like making my shoes in
We're
front
not
of
going
me,
to
I'm
call
not
you
going to use the
guys
word
artisans.
artisans.
You're our creatives. And honestly, the show wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So should we call them out?
Yes, Sarah, great segue.
You know, we love our robes. I mean, let me just rephrase. I love my robes. I am a robe connoisseur, if you will. We've known about Hill House Home for a long time. They have that viral hotel robe. That's how I found them. It's all over TikTok. All your favorite creators are talking about it. Their pajamas, also a hit. Their dresses.
They're so
pretty. She's really managed to create this aesthetic with her brand that is just so pleasing. It's just
it really is. It's very
They also have,
European.
like,
It's
the
very
Mommy and Me.
Saint-Tropez.
very Saint-Tropez. They have like the Mommy and Me stuff. It just gives.
Do you want to know something funny?
It gives
So-
rich life. It gives rich life.
Doing this ad, they sent me one of the hotel robes with the blue print. It's like a blue floral print.
Very chic.
Okay. My nanny comes up to me the other day. She says,
Mhm.
Erin, I like this robe. I'd like to ask you to get me one.
Oh.
I said, anything you want, Valentina. Obviously, I'll give you the one that's mine, but it has my initials on it, so I didn't. So I'm trying to order her one right now because she wants
Are
one.
you?
And you know what? What she wants, I get her.
She just goes, Erin, I'd like that. I mean,
I'd like to ask you to order me one. She was just telling me to buy her something. And I was like, okay, done.
Wow.
Tell me what else you want. I want a house? I'll get you whatever you want.
Good to
Anyway,
be your
she
nanny, I
loves it.
guess. Good
She
to
loves
be-
it. She said that the print feels very Belarusian to her.
By the way, also a great gift. You monogram a robe, it feels like you're getting a $10,000 gift. It's not that, but there's something about a gift.
It just feels like you're staying at a fancy hotel when you wear it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
Put those in your bathroom, you instantly elevate your bathroom. So
The brand has baby and kids if you want a matching moment, okay? Or if you need a baby gift. They also have the cutest tiny little robes and onesies and PJs that you can get monogrammed. How adorable is a baby in a robe? So get 15% off your first order of $100 or more at hillhousehome.com with the code Foster15. Again, that is Foster15 for 15% off your first order at hillhousehome.com.
Ipsy's maybe the best subscription box out there. Okay. Yes, we work with them. We have worked with them, but we wanted to work with them because
We have our own box. We have an Erin and Sara Foster Ipsy box.
Yeah, we do. And let me tell you something. You get up to $70 worth of top makeup, skincare, and more, curated by us, curated by them, curated by other, people. It's like having your own personal guru that just tells you all the things you need. It's pretty
it really is. You
impressive
save a
how
lot of
they
money.
do this. You save a lot of money.
It's a monthly beauty subscription. They curate 5 beauty products just for you. You basically take a beauty quiz and then you get matched with the products that fit your skin tone, your hair type, your makeup style. Obviously for me, it would be like clean beauty. You get products from a ton of amazing brands like Benefit Cosmetics and e.l.f., Bare Minerals, Dry Bar. They have so many. And so it's just like a great way to try new things because, skincare can be expensive. You buy something and then it just sits there.
It's also a great way to save money because you walk into some of these stores, you end up buying so many things you don't need, that don't even work for you, that don't even all those things. Ipsy curates all the things you need. They simplify it. They cut.
Exactly.
What's the saying? They cut to the
Chase?
Cut to the chase. Yeah.
Exactly. Subscriptions start at just $14 a month for up to $70 worth of products. So go to ipsy.com to get started with your first glam bag. That's IPSY.com. You're going to be obsessed with what shows up in your mailbox.
All right. For decades, Erin, doctors and sunscreen brands have warned us to avoid the sun like the plague.
Mm-hmm.
But Primally Pure is here to just kind of stop fear mongering us. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? They are saying the sun on your skin is good for you in moderation.
True.
Okay. So Primally Pure SPF. This is a multi-purpose mineral based, and that
But
is
I just want to
key.
say something to you about Primally
Oh.
Pure.
Okay.
When I got Simon off of his toxic deodorant, right? 5-6 years ago, he said, you want me off that deodorant? Get me a deodorant that I will like. I brought him 10, 15 different brands. He tried everything. Guess what he's been using for now 3 years?
Oh,
Primally
really?
Pure.
Oh,
That
really?
is the deodorant. He gets it delivered to us every month. That's the deodorant he lives and loves.
Interesting.
So anyway, they've come out now with an SPF line. It's multi-purpose, mineral-based sun care. They have, by the way, you know what I love? They have this lip balm SPF 15. I brought it with us when we went to the Bahamas because your lips get sun damage as well.
Can't neglect. You don't want old lips. You do not want old
Do
lips.
not want old lips.
No.
They have a nutrient-rich animal-based formula, grass-fed tallow packed with skin-loving fatty acids. They have organic mango butter, beeswax, coconut oil, lavender.
Have you heard of grass-fed tallow? Like, have you that
I've
everyone's
heard of
talking?
it, but I just don't know what like people do with it.
No. The topical tallow is supposed to be very anti-aging, very hydrating, all of those things. So to have that in a sunscreen is a big deal.
Yeah, it's truly non-toxic. You know how much I care about that. It's seed oil free. There are 0 harmful chemicals, 100% reef safe, no white cast. I hate when it gets chalky on your face. It's just great. This is the sunscreen you should be getting.
I would say this is the sunscreen.
Use the code FOSTER to get 15% off your Primally Pure purchase. That is www.primallypure.com. PRIMALLYPURE.com and use the code FOSTER at checkout for 15% off your order. Now we get to talk to some of the incredible people who work behind the scenes on the show. They are not only is Nobody Wants This a love letter to LA, but it's also made in LA, and some of our LA-based crew. Thank you. Thank you. It really is rare that we got to do that. Don't talk to me about it. Don't respond at all and say anything, but it's pretty cool. So some of these people call LA their home, and they are going to be joining us right now. So we're going to do a deep dive into the costumes, the casting process, and the editing. So first up, we have our editor, Maura Corey. She received... Come on.
Thank
Maura,
you.
It feels weird for me not to like hug you and say, hi, I haven't seen you in like a year. Sorry, guys. Hi.
Oh my God, it's so good to see you. See, this is what an editor looks like, you guys. I know I spend 12 hours a day looking at you, but you have zero idea who I am.
Yeah, we don't usually
so
let them
it's
out
nice
of their
to be here.
room, but here she is.
Yeah.
So Maura edited the pilot. She's also received an American Cinema Editors Award nomination for her work on the series.
Thank you.
So lucky to have you here. Love the haircut. Love the new
Thank
hair
you.
color.
Yes.
Yeah, loving this red.
Yeah, you have to have an interesting haircut to be an editor because people don't remember you. So they just usually see this.
Yeah.
So we like to make sure that at least it's something interesting to look at.
I agree. Also, Maura uses a standing desk, which I really respect since you're at the computer all day.
Yes.
So next up, we have our amazing costume designer, Nagar Ali Klein. People were dying over the wardrobe from season 1, and you're the beautiful genius behind it all. Hi.
Hi.
I've seen you more recently, so that's why I'm not hugging you.
Yes. Hi. I was going to say, kind of rude. You're not going to get up.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. And then we have this looks like a dating show.
It does.
Okay. Well,
Bachelor
I guess
number
we'll
3.
all hook up after this. Casting director Colin Daniel, please come out. Hi. How are you? You have a partner, but he's not here. You killed him. You took the spot. There's only one.
I'm taking the spot. He's in Australia.
Oh, I was going to say, did he have somewhere more important to be? But he's in
Yes.
Australia, so.
Yes.
Okay.
He's in another day right now.
Oh. Okay. Well, so then he doesn't even know this is happening. That's great.
Exactly.
Sarah, do you want to start?
Yes. I mean, all of your guys' jobs, the actors are the ones that get, of course, all the attention because they're fantastic. But the show wouldn't be what it is without the 3 people standing here. They were
100%.
They were integral in this show being what it is and what you guys see. And I wish we had like an hour with them because it's fascinating. And we don't hear from you guys enough, frankly. Okay. So Colin.
Yes.
What do you remember when we started this process so many years ago, when we explained to you, when we described to you, the characters, when did you know the actors were the one? Like, when did you really know?
And how did we describe the characters to you, like if you remember?
Well, I remember Hot Rabbi from the get-go. And I remember thinking, how are we ever going to find that? But then Kristen, of course, said, it's Adam Brody. Do what you guys need to do, but it's Adam Brody. And as you guys remember, we saw the world. And
We saw every Jewish man.
every Jewish actor.
Not in America, but in the
Yes.
world.
Yes.
The money I would pay for the access to those tapes.
Oh, we can show them to you. Come
Just
over
people
later.
we
just
have
chewing
we have
it
Yahoo.
up and just like, oh my God.
Jackie?
Sorry, it's Colin's time.
Uh-huh.
No, but it's true. We saw everybody.
We saw
everybody.
everybody. We really did. And by the end of that, everyone was like, okay, it's Adam Brody.
I think you can confirm this. There was not, and we saw like tens and tens and tens, I don't know, hundreds of people. There was not one single tape that we saw that we were like, that's him.
You would be correct.
But
Adam,
to
were you
be
gonna say something?
clear, everybody that we saw could act. I think when you are an actor, you think when you're not picked, it's because you're not good or everyone is good. There's so much talent in this world. We saw so much talent. It just wasn't Noah. Wasn't
correct.
Adam Brody, baby.
It's like a date. It's like, sometimes you don't know why, it's just not them.
And because we never got to see them actually read together, how lucky we are that the chemistry was so fantastic.
I
because
love
you don't
not
always get
auditioning,
that.
but it is always like a gamble for you and me. You know,
Very much.
I made a compilation of stuff we had done together
Really?
and sent it to them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's true.
Yeah.
We saw your clip package.
You brought it into the writer's room.
I said, watch this.
Yeah.
Well, now watch this one.
But I will say this, for me, it wasn't seeing that stuff because tonally it was so different from this show. For me, it was you and Fleischman. That's what really sold me because it was such a grounded, like you as like a grown man with like facial hair and just like being like, just like kind of like a, I don't know, were you kind of like a big, like a player? Oh.
I'm going to out Erin right now. Your facial hair sent her into an absolute tailspin
true,
in
guys.
an email chain.
I said to her, I'm like, do not shave ever.
Did you see he has a beard now? I was like, no, I'm not like Googling what does Adam look like today. Like I haven't seen him in a couple months.
Guys, neither am I. I don't
She
have
was
Google
like,
alert
look
on
at this
him.
picture. Then I get the picture and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Adam with the beard. She was beside herself.
It's really funny.
Yeah, so honestly, we all were. We all were.
I know we aren't supposed
remember.
to talk. I'm gonna break that rule for this. It sends me into a tailspin. He looks so fucking good with a beard. He looks good without
You
one.
guys,
I really
guys,
like it.
I was happy I had a beard, if you can call it that, when we did the table read, and you said keep it. And I wasn't like showing it off. I figured I would shave it. I was happy. Nagar, when you set it's not rabbinical, but there's something that suggests it. There's something that like one of my favorite things, and I'm lumping in wardrobe with it, but it's because it's a visual medium, is creating a look for a character. I mean, it's half the job. I feel like if I feel good in what I'm wearing and looking, and then it's already good. Like, and then I've already done it, really, and it's hard to fail. And so you truly saying that, you know, and sort of keeping it, I just think was integral to the actual success for me of the
We definitely felt,
character.
Nagar and I worked, you know, we talked about this a lot, is that the rabbi role, we really wanted to, as much as possible, play against type. And for me, like Ben Stiller in, it's escaping me now.
Keeping the faith.
Thank you. Keeping the Faith was a huge inspiration. It was in life. But it was a huge inspiration because when I had seen that movie, I loved him playing basketball with his friends. Like it was so not a rabbi thing to do. It's like a guy in basketball shorts. And it worked out perfectly because my husband plays in an adult basketball league. He thinks he's a professional athlete. And I always think it's really funny. And he has playoffs. It's like a real thing for him. Don't tell him I talked about this. And so I wanted to incorporate it because it's so not like a rabbi thing. And so the wardrobe also played into that. The beard plays into that. Like I didn't want you to look too conservative. Sorry, we're calling. This is Nagar. This is about you guys.
It's all right. It's all right.
Nagar, let's talk about these outfits. Okay, everyone's obsessed with the looks on this show. Wardrobe, it just felt very like real, very lived in. So, what are some of your favorite looks from the season, and how did you decide what each of everyone's styles was going to be?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard question. My favorite look. Well, it was amazing, you know, to see the overwhelming response to the costumes. And I loved all of the costumes, but if I had to choose one that really stands out, I think it would be Joanne's all red costume for the temple at the end of episode 1, where her and Noah reunite. You know, it was scripted that it was supposed to be this, you know, iconic cinematic moment. And she comes into this space. She's a fish out of water. It was important for her to stand out. But I felt like this scene was also about desire and love. And I thought that the all red sort of played into that really well. So yeah, that came together. That costume actually, there was like Reddit threads about that cardigan. There was like so many questions about that cardigan, and it was actually a vintage piece that we found, but it had like these huge red rosette buttons on it, and so we removed those and cropped it and just tailored it perfectly for Joanne, and it worked really well with the skirt. But so that one is definitely like one of my favorites. And then the Ojai looks, I felt like they were like
That's
in
the
their
camp episode.
at the Jewish camp, they were in their like out of the city Ojai outfits, and I thought they just looked really cute together.
You know what's crazy about that red dress was it informed my edit.
Really?
Yeah, because when she walks in and you just see her, there was just such a great way to introduce her to that. So it was such a great interplay.
So awesome.
There's a real through line with all the departments that people I think don't realize.
I think that's secretly the answer to the question of why the show works so well too.
Yeah.
When everyone's always like, "This show is it's like, yeah, it's
all works
just all
together.
fed
And a lot of
into
that
the other
is
thing.
luck, right? Like
Yeah.
this group of people could have been any group of people and it would be a different show. And so it's like a lot of it is luck. And we were really lucky at the show.
How involved were you guys in your wardrobe? You guys were pretty involved too, right? Kristen, Justine, Adam.
Yeah, but to a degree, I mean, I told Nagar like I'm very short torsoed, so like drop waists not going to be our thing. You know, like there were like, but for the most part, I like pretty things. And everything you brought was pretty, and there was like I don't know, maybe you felt differently, but I felt like I had minimal things of. There was one time where I was having a bad day, and I didn't want to wear a mini skirt, and because I don't like my legs, which is why I'm fussing with these strings, and I didn't want to wear a mini skirt, and I was wearing it on the day. I thought I would be confident, and then right before we shot, I was like, I can't wear this mini skirt. I can't even concentrate. And it's like, I was like, you just can't do it. And you guys ran back and got me a pair of black jeans.
Yeah. Well, because everyone was like, Kristen doesn't like the skirt. She doesn't like the skirt. 10-1. She doesn't like the skirt. She doesn't like the skirt. I was like, okay.
10-1 means
okay.
P, Erin.
Yeah, it does mean P. I know. I realized that as I said
It's a
that.
different reason for not liking the skirt.
Maybe
but
they were like tricking us. But
I just have to give her a shout out because I was pregnant and
Oh, yeah.
it's a
wow.
big deal because she basically brought me in every single week and refit me and adjusted my jeans and had them retailored and had them fit differently and found out ways to creatively block off everything that was happening while keeping the essence of Morgan intact. Because, you know, my first fitting, I went in there and she had no idea that I was pregnant because it was before the time that it was in a fragile time to tell the crew. And she came in with like every kind of crop top you could ever imagine.
I had
and
looked at your Instagram, Sarah.
Oh, great. I was waiting for that.
every little mini skirt. And I remember leaving and going into like a panic attack, like just literally like bright red, sweating, just being like, what am I going to do? This poor woman, like she's going to have to re-pull everything. And when I told her, she was just so graceful. And the whole season, she found a way to do all the things that she was planning on doing with that character. Like she found the essence of what that all was and found a way to put it into Morgan as me, a growing woman throughout an entire season of a show, and hit it beautifully. And yeah, it was like and did it in a way that I felt comfortable the whole way through. It wasn't like an obstacle for me.
Right,
you know,
that all directly impacts how present you are on the day and how you're feeling and how you can show up and be your best. I mean, it all, again, works together.
In retrospect, I feel like Adam and Timothy and I are real ding-dongs because during the bar scene, the first foursome, we're standing at the bar having that I don't want to be some call her daddy ripoff and podcast conversation, and Justine just got her button pops off her skirt out of nowhere, and we were all like, "Whoa!" And then she was like, "Oh, I had a really big burrito," and we were like, "Okay." And then we just continued, and none of us. Oh, did you clock it?
yeah,
No, I
everybody
don't
thought I
remem-
was just
I
falling
don't-
apart. It's
no,
kind of
not-
in line with my
But
personality.
it shot off of her skirt.
She had told me.
The back at that point was already slit.
Well, I got a call from set, and they're like, "We need to rip the back of the Gucci skirt. We have to cut through the back of the Gucci." I was like, "Cut the skirt, please, cut the skirt."
No, but Nagar was very good about, she just always wanted everyone to feel good in what they're wearing. That was always her goal. And I think that, you know, in any profession, there's a lot of ego that can go into things like, I have a vision and I want my vision to come through. But Nagar looks at it and goes, I want my vision to come through, but I more than that want the actor to feel good in what they're wearing. And that's how you get the best, you know, performance out of people, and why the clothes aren't wearing them. They're wearing the clothes.
If Tim was wearing tuxedos, your performance probably would have been a little bit different, wouldn't it?
I'd like to see that performance too, though.
Yeah, I'm going to be pitching a lot of tuxedos next year.
Let's go.
Some Tom Ford suits on Timothy.
Nagar, is there anything else you want to say on this topic?
I mean, really, I think it's, you know, for me, it was about your vision, right? Like when
Well, you and I worked really well
Yes.
together. We were always like very.
Did you know each other before?
No. But we had a couple of friends in common that put her in touch with me, that put you up for the job.
Yes.
That it was like 3 different friends were like, this is your
Well, I
person.
wanted this job. So Ollie Oak sent me the script, and then every person that we had in common, I had reach out to.
By the way, where's Ollie?
By the way,
By the way, Ollie Oaks is here. There would not probably be a show without Ollie Oaks.
It's true. It was Ollie
It was
Oaks,
Ollie's idea.
Sarah Riff, and
Ashley Margolis.
Ashley Margolis. Thank you.
I got an email from Ashley too, just FYI.
But I love that.
I really
I love
wanted
that
to do
too.
this show.
And that's a message to people. Like, I loved finding out that she was going to get to us in every way she could, because you want to work with people who are passionate about working with you and working on your project. Like, that's so important. So love that for you and for all of us. Maura,
Yes.
talk to us.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to
That's
us
a
about the
great
pilot.
question.
Talk to us about how you helped establish the tone of the series in the editing room. I mean, the pilot is the jump off for everything.
Yeah.
And you made the chemistry feel so real and authentic. And I want to ask you, what's like a risk you took that paid off? Something
In
that
the
you were
pilot?
like, it really, I mean, I know that we're here talking about your work on the pilot, but you did half the season.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I mean, we talked about tone in the interview.
Yeah.
And one of the things that going in, even into editing the pilot, was making sure that all the characters felt like people you knew.
Yes.
Like you could meet in the real world and not have it be some sort of like trope.
Yeah.
And so it's no joke, guys. It's an embarrassment of riches what you were able to put on film for me to work with, because everyone here, just the chemistry was palpable. The first scene I cut was actually a podcast scene between Morgan and Joanne. And they felt like sisters. And I don't even know if you guys had met before, but just the footage, I was like, oh, this is going to be really something special. So, comedy is a lot about timing, and it's about building chemistry. It's about building those romantic looks between Joanne and, Noah in the first episode, making sure that they feel like they're drinking it in, each other in, right? I mean, if you actually looked at someone for 5 seconds and stared at them, it would be pretty creepy, right? So when you build it in the bay, you're actually externalizing what they're feeling on the inside. So that's part of what building a romance is. But because Kristen and Adam are such great actors, there was so much material to choose from with just a lift of an eyebrow or a tilt of a head, which is what informs the editing. Right. So the biggest risk, though, was actually in the basketball episode. So
You didn't want to make us look too good.
seriously, man.
The choreography?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had to really make you guys look bad. That's the problem. So. But there was we did a montage in the basketball with Chumbawamba. I'm really sorry, you guys, that tub thumping was in there. But that wasn't in the original script. So
No.
That montage was legendary.
right?
Yeah.
So, but I was looking at the footage, and Joanne says this line, no, I want to get drunk. Let's take a shot every time they miss. And I said to my assistant editor, I'm like, so where's the footage for the montage? And she goes, we didn't shoot any. And I said, oh, yes, you did. So I looked through all of the takes of what they did on the basket and just cobbled it together. And because we had these close-ups of them missing the basket, I was like,
no
all right.
shortage of.
Why do you have all that footage of the missing baskets?
Yeah.
I
Maura?
had to comb through all the swishes. That's
All this way, I did.
Yeah.
It was-
Also, I was made to play in the 2, and I've always been sort of like a small 5 or big
Right,
4,
right.
so I feel like I was always on the outside, and I don't have a good. But this is
And
beside
I know
the
it.
point.
Yeah.
It's true though. So all of that stuff, you guys, we had extra footage, not extra footage, but it's like every frame counts.
An embarrassment of riches, you said.
Yes, an embarrassment of riches. But it was.
Let's
but it
fucking
was
play
so
right
funny.
now.
I've never seen Adam more enthusiastic about acting than he was when we were shooting basketball.
Oh
So-
my God.
Yes, I was like 20 minutes of you like improvising basketball moves. There was one point I look away and then I look back and you're on the ground with
Yeah.
someone like what is happening?
I was probably trying to be
20
comedic.
minutes of like
We were like,
basketball
oh,
improv.
it's 1/8 of a page. Just throw it. It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know what you're
over.
talking about.
Like coordinating the choreography. He's like, and then I'm gonna go move over here. And I'm gonna go over to this side of the
line, and then I'm going to be on the ground with
And
you
then
over
the
there."
coach had to be called in, and then the coach was.
Oh, God.
Sorry, it was so cute.
I don't remember this. I'm not, and that's the truth.
I don't remember. It was literally.
I think I remember maybe
just too caught up
trying
in the
to
game, you know?
like there's a line in there, like something happens, but it's not really like you have to figure it out with 6 people. Like then you have to choreograph something.
I can pull together a string of stuff if you really
Yeah,
need to
the raw outtakes.
Yeah,
But that
throw it up on Vimeo
episode
for you.
was really beloved by people. And it's true. You have to give the editors credit. You don't realize how much of the scripts they write in the room. Because, Maura, I don't remember this exact conversation, but there were so many different conversations. You're like, okay, just like stay open. I did something kind of fun and different here.
Yeah.
And then you watch and you're like, shit, that wasn't in the script, but it's so good. And it becomes a story of its own.
And those things come from performances and casting and costumes and production design. Like that stuff you'll find nuggets of like in the pilot, Timothy has a improv line that's I gave him that crypto joke. And so that wasn't in the script. But when I was watching the footage and you did it, I gave him that crypto joke. And I was like, that's hilarious. And that tells me who these brothers are in just a quick little line that was probably not, you probably didn't, I don't know, intend to even make it in. So.
Oh, right. No, that one was just, they were like, oh, we just need to have shots of you guys listening. And there is that thing. It's like, well, we'll be quiet, but if the cameras are there, fucking.
Well, yeah. And
what else are we doing? We're making a show.
Yeah,
We'll
Tim
just
and I
go
are
say
like, don't let
something,
us loose.
but in that same scene, Jackie nudges you, you're asleep. There was a whole interplay between that. And I think because of the cast, and again, like I was saying about the podcast that you and Kristen, you guys had such a chemistry, and you just active listening, and the way you engaged with each other made it really easy to edit this because you already felt like family.
It's true.
But you're working with you're like almost, because you're the final stop, I feel like you're working with you're almost like the principal of the school, where you're working with the administration and the teachers' aides and the teachers and the kids, and it all comes to you and has to have filter, because I would say, what, bad?
You just love kid metaphors always. It's like the reason she liked the summer camp scenes. She's like loves kid. The other day she was like, it's like the last day of school and it's 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And you're, it's all for child metaphors.
I'm sorry, I'm in it. And also I really like to be playful.
Really cute.
But some of my favorite moments, and I would say if I have any advice for any aspiring anyone in the film industry, if you can get into the editor's office, my favorite moments from this last season was sitting on your couch, eating bagels, and just watching you work.
Yeah,
and asking you about the terms and what are you doing and why are you pulling that up, and then you'd explain to me what it was so interesting.
We work alone so much. It's great to have people around, who's listening to me.
Say
But
no
you're right.
more. Hey, Laura.
Come on in the bag, Jackie. Seriously, though, it's really great to have the perspective of people who can help you shape the story, and that's what ultimately we're all here to do, is to tell a really funny, good, charming story.
Yeah. Well, you guys really did it. And we're so proud of the season. So proud of the show. Guys, thank you so much. We did not get to talk about everything, but we are going to be hanging out afterwards. I don't know if do you guys know what this party theme is? It is Miriam's bat mitzvah from season 1 finale. It is a big bite of the Big Apple. Bite of the Big Apple? Yeah. And so please join us. You can get really up close to all these people right here, right in their faces, touch them, play with their hair, literally.
Make it
Ask some
weirder.
questions.
You can tell us shit about ourselves that you don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was included in the notes. They were like, this carte blanche.
It was
you
only
can
yours,
say,
Timothy.
Yeah.
It was only for you.
Oh, just
Yes, and then this is also going to be an episode, not to promote our podcast, but it's kind of why we're here. Is
we need listeners. Promote it.
Yeah, it's going to be an episode of our World's First podcast, which is going to be out next Thursday. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys all.